back, we've been talking about the ramifications politically and legally of the investigation into the cipher that has taken a new turn, with the government deciding to now investigate the cipher controversy after the audio leak via the officials under the Official Secrets Act. We've also recently had the presser from Mariam Nawaz, Ishaq Dar Saab, and also other key leaders of the PMLN. They spoke in some detail about the fact that the way that the cipher has been flouted, the way that this has spun according to the PMLN, and what it can mean in terms of the investigation that is likely to follow. I have with me Nayab Gohar Jan, who is leader PPP, and Amir Hussain, who is a columnist. Thank you so much for joining us. Nayab, overall, let's start off with you as far as the situation is concerned, as far as the presser from the government, the PMLN leadership is concerned. How are you viewing this investigation now? What is likely to happen in terms of the reaction that may come from the PTI? How does the government overall look at this?
Thank you very much, Maruk. I think we need not worry about the reactions of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf anymore. The country cannot be held hostage to the reactions and the preferences of one person in his political party. So I think opening the investigation, that's fine. But I think the problem is that the kind of politics that Mr. Imran Khan plays, and I'm using the word play because he has used the word play while talking about our country's future and while talking about our country's foreign policy, is that as long as the verdict is not in his favor, we've seen that before in his politics, he will never be satisfied. He will never accept any decision that is not aligned with what he wants. I think personally that there has been enough proof in the past as well. We've had the NSC sit on this before as well. We have a completely muddled timeline whereby Mr. Imran Khan has switched positions on this particular issue many, many times. It is absolutely clear that there was no regime change conspiracy, that he used his social media and he played on people's emotions, and he came up with this foreign conspiracy. But I think that if our end goal is not to satisfy the whims and wishes of one person. The end goal should be that the truth should come out and the matter should be settled once and for all.
Right, Nayab. Let me come back to you. Amir Saab, Nayab has said that it doesn't matter, of course, as far as the reaction is concerned, that it should go the investigation and whatever findings then that leads to should move forward at a normal pace. And of course, that in itself is important. The investigation after the audio leaks have actually come and brought into light a lot of things. And one thing the government seems to stand united on, that it cannot be left alone. It needs to be investigated. There is the office of the Prime Minister involved. There is, of course, and the sanctity of it, which is important. And as far as but as far as overall the political situation is concerned, we've also now for a while had assertions, allusions to the fact that there might be a long march that Imran Khan keeps talking about. Do you think this will have any effect on that, Amir Saab?
Well, I think as far as the investigations are concerned, I am not very much optimistic about the outcomes, because we have seen in the past as well, there have been many audio leaks, there are many cunning ploys coming out of different political arenas. But from the legal perspective, from the perspective of official top secrets and the national integrity, there has to be an investigation. The investigation must be seen to be fair. It must be realized that this investigation is not only about a personality, but it's about the highest office that where the secrecy is being leaked. That is an important thing. Secondly, the content of this audio leak is really a lot of apprehensions have been expressed by different reporters, because this is completely unacceptable for any sane political person or political party to play with the national interest, to play with the top security operators. I think the way it was conducted, the way that the whole discussion is being taking place is condemnable. But uh, I think it is very important that the person who was responsible, who was behind these audio leaks from the highest officers, must also be taken to task. So the future should be secure. This is a question of the security of national secrets. I mean, well, I think there are other ways than to make politicians accountable. For example, we knew from the day one that whatever Imran Khan was saying was not right. There was no foreign conspiracy, and the many people within the establishment division, within security operators, they denied, they refuted. There was no conspiracy, so there was enough evidence in the public, in the political arena, to make an investigation into the matter. But these leaks are really, really terrible, and we are skeptical about these. Being the citizens of this country, we have to see that the highest offices are secured and that they are security proof.
Right, Amir Saab. Nayab, but as far as as far as Rana Saab is concerned, the Minister for Interior, according to how the government plans to proceed, of course, as far as this arrest is concerned, he was quite clear. He said that all the coalition partners will act together. As far as the PPP is concerned, what is their stance as far as this arrest is concerned, as far as the law taking its, of course, you're saying that the law must take its due course. Overall, in terms of this, moving forward against the PTI chairman on various grounds, various violations that he's, as far as his comments are concerned, inflammatory conduct is concerned, his incitement, all of those things have now been the subject of debate for a while. And overall, what is the PPP feel about all of those remarks, all of the stance that we've seen pursuant to now this audio leak?
Right, Mark, I think we've been very clear from the start, as you said, that the law must take its course. I think if you listen to what the foreign minister has said on his tour, and I think he summed up Pakistan's turbulent political history wonderfully, where he said that we had finally come to a place where we had all agreed to certain rules of the game, and we had finally come to a place where all political actors had decided that we're not going to unfairly target each other. We had finally developed some semblance of a political a democratic structure, and enter Mr. Imran Khan, and he set us back many years, because he even now believes his struggle is not for democracy, not for the rule of law. It is to be treated above the law. It is to get verdicts in his favor as he desires. And that is something that we've been very clear on. That is not going to happen. There is enough, as you mentioned yourself, not just about his inflammatory, comments, the way he has incited, the misogyny that he has practiced in public by threatening a female judge, but also we have open investigations into the Tosha Khana case. We have, remarkable facts available to us about the foreign and prohibited funding cases. So why shouldn't the law take its course? Why should Mr. Imran Khan always be given special treatment? Why should he always be made an exception to the rule? We've seen other political leaders be victimized for far less. And so we have ample amounts of evidence. And even now, you see, Maru, even now his ego is much bigger than his desire to apologize, because he has refused to offer an unconditional apology. So I think that all of this points to Mr. Imran Khan's recurring attitude as a spoiled child, as somebody who wants to only create chaos in the public realm. And as the sitting government, it is our responsibility that if he is acting as the main factor that causes political instability, if he is somebody who refuses to come and sit on the table, it's our responsibility to bring back that semblance of democracy and that system that we had lost. And the law should take its course, and no exceptions should be made for him.
Right. Nayab, let me come back to you. Amrita, the law must take its course. It should take its course. I don't think there's any two opinions on that itself. But let's keep the law aside for 1 second. Let's talk about the political scenario. Do you think that as far as Imran Khan Sahab is concerned, this, the way that he has viewed every act of the government, how is he likely to view this? How is he likely to react, in your opinion, regardless of its relevance or irrelevance to, the law taking its course? I'm not debating that. I think that no sane person would say anything to the contrary. But in terms of the political things getting, the political landscape getting heated, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think as we have seen that in the past, Imran Khan has certainly, doing a lot of narrative building political discourses and working on political discourses. Populism is all about propaganda. It's all about, repeatedly, narrating the same thing again and again, and he is doing that. I think even now these leaks have come out. Imran Khan and his senior team is, convinced that it will go away in a week or 2 weeks time, in a month time, and they also know that in this country, law is one of the areas. The legal domain is very obscure, very very lenient towards many, because of many reasons. So the way he wants to contest all this is by mounting public pressure through a long march, through building a narrative that even he still believes that as long as he's popular among the people with his narrative, he will go for it. But I think ultimately the popularity will go down as the time goes on. If the country is right now in crisis, we understand that there's economic crisis. The people are not happy with the current government. But if the stability starts
in terms of popularity, of course, that seems to be the likely, slope when we talk about it. But in terms of the audio leaks itself, don't you think that itself, the way that they have exposed whatever happened, do you think it will have an effect on his voter base?
Yeah, definitely it will have an impact, because there are a lot of contradiction between what he says and what is coming out through these audio leaks. Because there was already in criticism from different quarters on his conduct on foreign conspiracy, but this has become more public now. The audio is on social media, and the people are listening. Imran Khan saying himself and his principal secretary and his team are discussing by themselves. So this is concrete evidence that whatever was being said about these videos, about this foreign conspiracy, was not right, and it is now proven through these audios. I think it will definitely adversely impact the way he has been conducting his politics for last couple of months, and I think Imran Khan also feels the pressure right now, and then he that's why he now he shows some leniency. He's going back to his strategy team and trying to redefine, redraw the new political calculation, new discourse.
But let me come back to you, Nayab. Do you think that there will be a long march? Because it's been said and unsaid, and overall, what is, in your opinion, do you think we will have the kind of long march that Imran Khan Sahab envisages?
Maruk, I'll tell you one thing. Mr. Imran Khan is such a fan of having people, large crowds chanting his name, and he's such a fan of jalsas because he's been having them while 1/3 of the country is drowning. If he had confidence that he was going to be able to pull a large enough crowd to demonstrate his popularity, a large crowd that would travel days, a large crowd that would bear sort of hardships and gather just for him, I think he would have done it a long time ago. I think the only reason why he's holding back is because he knows that he cannot do it. And it's different to hold jalsas in different places, and it's a completely different dynamic to bring out people for longer marches. And it really is a test of the kind of commitment that you have and the kind of unity that you have within your party, and everybody needs to work for it. So if he had that confidence, he would not be delaying that date over and over again for the past many months. We saw a very, very flop show back in May, and I think that he has mistaken that there has been some sort of.
Amir Saab, do you agree? You think, Nayab is saying that as far as that style of politics is concerned, certainly we have seen the agitative style of politics come from the PTI generally, from Imran Khan Saab. We've seen inflammatory statements. There's no denying that. I think everybody would generally agree with that statement. But as far as the dharna is concerned, we have seen jalsas, and that has been, one would have to say it has amassed people, but the long march hasn't followed. There have been allusions to the fact that it is likely to come soon, after 28th May, whatever happened there. But in your opinion, do you think that's indicative of the preparedness as far as the PTI is concerned? And that is why it hasn't happened? What is your take on this?
Well, I think as far as the long march is concerned, that would be the last resort the PTI would go for. But there are many risks in that. For example, there are apprehensions. If it doesn't work, if it is failed, then there is no other political game that can play. I mean, the long march.
But Amir Saab, we also had recently a statement come from the PTI, which was different from their categorical no. Before the audio leaks, before this controversy became a little more obvious with these leaks, whatever they've revealed, whatever allegedly they've revealed. But the point is, before that, the PTI said that they were willing to return to the assemblies if there was an investigation into this cipher. That now seems to be something, that's unlikely to happen. And do you think that itself indicated perhaps, there was some change in the policy overall? There was perhaps going to be a different style of politics. Why do you think, there was, in your opinion, what did that indicate as far as the PTI was concerned?
Well, I think there are many, backdoor channels are being used nowadays. There is a way of engagement with different power stakeholders. And Imran Khan and his senior team understand that the long march is the most, this is, you cannot rock your boat if it doesn't work, it is going to be a failure for them. And right now the pressure is mounting on Imran Khan and his party, because this is not the right time to go for a long march. This is the time to building more inroads and engagement with the political opposition, with the power stakeholders. Maybe Imran Khan is saying something in public, but in private meetings with their leaders, they are talking differently, because that is where the actual strategy takes place. Because there are many, the pressure is mounting because of this leaks, and there are more audio leaks may be coming, and in that sense, Imran Khan may not be able to gather a big support or big demonstration, and there is, of course, government is also.
Sir, you think that there are more audios likely to surface?
Well, I think there might be more, because we cannot predict, but I think there are going to be more.
And there will be audios. And there will be audios that will be from the PTI?
I think initially there was the PTI supporters or someone from PTI. They were trying to mount pressure on the government, but it was stopped suddenly, and there was a realization that it is going to be more conflicting. I think there may be anti-PTI video, not anti-PTI, but I think someone. The way PTI has conducted its politics for last month.
Okay, let me come back to you, Amir Saab. I'm going to go to Nayab. Nayab, in your opinion, how is the government, of course, we had, as far as the statement, we've had various government people from the government say that there was Imran Khan did not, as far as choosing to stay out of the parliament is concerned, tendering resignations is concerned, that was also the PTI's own decision. And if they now want to come back to the assemblies, the government really doesn't have much to say on that. Is that the official position overall as far as the government is concerned? Because of course we had the Prime Minister talk about a charter of economy, we had the Prime Minister, we have had the Prime Minister say again and again that the priority should be floods, the priority should at this time be stabilizing Pakistan economically, making it stronger, and the other things can then take its course.
Absolutely, Maruk. I think we've been very clear, and if you or your party are believers in letting the democratic system prevail, then I think that doors must never be completely shut when it comes to politics. And so this door of returning to the parliament has been open. And the Prime Minister has been talking about a charter of economy. He has been talking about, setting certain rules of the game. Again, like I've mentioned, the Charter of Democracy gives us a fantastic representation and a fantastic precedent in terms of what happens when rival political factions actually sit down and they talk about the benefit of the larger system. So I think that these doors were never closed from the government side. They were in fact open from the beginning. It was Imran Khan's antagonizing politics and this idea that he will be able to pressurize the government through these tactics to bow down to what he wanted. And what he wanted was early elections. And what he wanted was that, while he's riding on this supposed popularity that he has made through the regime change conspiracy and the confidence that he has had through his victories in the by-elections, which again, debatable. But I think that's what he wanted. So
let me come back to you. We have with us Zahid Gushkori, who's a senior journalist. Thank you so much for joining us. Zahid Saab, can you hear me?
Yes, Maro.
Zahid Saab, as far as this cipher is concerned, as far as the investigation into the cipher is concerned, as far as the press conference is concerned, in your opinion, as the political ramifications of this arrest now, this arrest warrant that is now in the field, how are you looking at things?
Maruk, frankly, we have been reporting this very important issue, and Imran Khan has apparently used this as a political card, but he exposed badly. I think it would be better now. It's time, as PTI has been demanding, that the country top court should take up this cipher, as has been demanded by all parties as well. There should be a categoric clarification from the Supreme Court through the investigation by engaging institution to tell truth to the people of Pakistan, either this cipher has ground or not. But as you know, that two back-to-back National Security Council meetings had held, but nothing found as such that there was any damning thing about Pakistan, and Imran Khan wanted to use this as a last political resort to save his skin, because he did not survive after the no confidence motion, and he was ousted from the power, and now he has been using it as a tool that it was a conspiracy for the regime change and so on. And now the two back-to-back audios leaked. We don't know that who leaked these audios, but they exposed PTI plan, that how they were playing with the country national security while to save their power plan or to play the politics. But this time it's clear, obviously it's a national security matter. The government also formed a committee, but I think the Supreme Court should take up this matter. So categorically, at this stage of time, it appears that this cipher had no ground what exactly PTI played for. So they
But Zahid, now that the government has decided to investigate, go as far as against Imran Khan Sahab under the Official Secrets Act. Don't you think that that investigation will take place under the purview of this article?
This is very, Maruf, a very sensitive line. I think while we are discussing it, apparently through these two audios, it looks like that they were planning something, but we have to look into it. Either it hurts the country national secret, and that's why I was asking that any institution of the country could frame or form the commission, a high-level commission. It would be better that a Supreme Court senior judge should.
But Zaid isn't that what the last demand? I mean, there have been a few, but the last demand of Imran Khan Sahab and PTI has been that investigation and that they will return to the assemblies. Do you think that there is a chance of that still happening or no?
I think PTI would not come back to the parliament because time is quite short and government is slowly and gradually gaining the ground. And obviously at this stage of time, looks like that the current regime would continue by October 2023, the legitimate time period. Of course, and by that time, I think the PTI popularity of Imran Khan might have been neutralized at this stage of time. And Imran Khan also lost his institutional support as well. But at the moment, political temperature is at a high level in the country. And Imran Khan also got arrest warrant today as well. And he's facing different cases. And the government is playing at least to try to pile up the pressure on Mr. Khan not to at least come out in the capital, because last night the government also tried to calm down the public, that the price hike, the petrol prices, and of course, obviously at the commodities prices were at the peak. And the government is trying to cope with this dilemma, and this is the only reason that the PTI was gaining popularity and the public was supporting them. But it's slowly and gradually. At this stage of time, it looks like that PTI might not be able to get such big momentum as it was expected after January or February this year. But obviously, as a lead political party in the opposition, they are trying to pile up pressure on the government, and they are going to give a call as reported, and as they have been claiming that they would just collect and gather the public support in the heart of capital by giving a call to compel the government to give.
Zaid Sahab, do you think that that will happen? Do you think that there's a chance that the long march, which was being alluded to, will actually go forward at this stage?
Maruf, it's premature to say this, but I don't see that the government would surrender before the PTI any sort of pressure to just give a general call for early election. I don't see at this stage of time, but yes, PTI would pile up the pressure. They know this, that if in October or by mid of November early election call is not happened, then it would be difficult, as Imran Khan himself told his party colleagues, his MPs last week, that in October, if there does not come any early election call, then it would be difficult for his party to not only get two-thirds majority, but also to win the general election as well. So as soon as it's possible, they want early election, because there was a momentum. His narrative, which I think did not have any ground, like cipher, like the conspiracy, but he at least convinced at that stage of time to the people that there was a conspiracy against his government. And this is the reason that he might not be able to get the momentum in the general election. And that's why the government, the current regime, it's a consortium of different political parties. They did not, and they don't want early election. Obviously, they cannot afford it because whatever PTI had done, and now they are facing and the bad economic policies, and this is the outcome of it, and that's why they are coping. They are trying to cope with it, but
Right.
I don't
Thank you
see
so
that
much for being
there
with
are
us.
any pressure.
Zahid Saab, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your very valuable input. I want to go to Arif Chaudhry Saab, who's a senior lawyer. Thank you so much for joining us. Arif Saab, how do you look at the, as far as the government choosing to proceed against Imran Khan Saab under the Official Secrets Act? What is the burden of proof? What is the standard of proof? Can you tell us the legality of this? And, how do you look at, what is the strength of this in your opinion?
Thank you very much. First of all, if the government wants to proceed on this score, so they have to establish that what is the stuff they have got and how did they get all this information. So if this is audio leaks or something like that, then you have to have forensic analysis, and then you have to create all that kind of evidence which is so convincing to connect Imran Khan with something which really involves him in a criminal case regarding official secret act. So
Right.
official secret act to my mind is not that easy as it looks like, because normally until and unless he discloses something which he is not supposed to disclose, simply by alleging that, I don't think that there are consequences, criminal consequences.
But Arif Saab, as far as this arrest is concerned, let's talk about the legality of that. How do you view this as far as pursuant to the charges that have been leveled against Imran Khan Saab? What is the strength of it? How do you look at it?
What charges?
The charges against Imran Khan Saab, according to which the arrest warrant has been issued. I hope that you're privy to that information.
No, I'm sorry. I have no knowledge about that because I was stuck up today, and I couldn't
According
get
to,
any info.
I will try to explain. As far as, there's a violation of Article 144, 504, 506, 188, 189. Can you tell us a little bit about, what this means? What is the legal recourse,
Yeah.
of course, as far as bail is concerned? Ji.
Yeah, 506, if you are not armed and you give a threat to somebody with dire consequences, then, it's bailable, 506. And that's why even other offenses which you have mentioned so far, many of them are bailable, and police cannot take cognizance of these offenses until and unless they get a warrant from the court of magistrates. So
Right.
they have to approach the court of magistrates in order to get the warrants. And, as far as I understand, all these offenses, to my mind and to any legal knowledge person can tell you that, they are bailable.
Arif
And they
Saab,
are
how
not
does this
public.
work today? Do you think that the arrest, in your opinion, of course, at this point we don't know, but do you think that there will be an arrest as far as, trying to get bail is concerned? Or do you think, of course, it's a Saturday, will it make it difficult for Imran Khan Saab to get bail? How, in your experience, how will this work out?
Yeah, these days things are not that difficult. We are seeing that courts are very active, rather in many cases they are proactive. And if he tries to approach the court of law in order to get this warrant, suspended, so I don't think that it's going to be very difficult because he can approach it. These are extraordinary circumstances, and a warrant has been obtained against him, and in order to effect his arrest, and that is also at the weekend. So I think any court can help, come out to help. Even a sessions court, and for extraordinary circumstances, he can approach High Court as well in order to, and he will show there that because the government is vindictive and under malice they are trying to get him arrested.
I know that, lastly, as far as this cipher is concerned, as far as the audio leaks are concerned, as far as the legality of using the audio leaks, there seems to be an overall opinion that it will be difficult to use them in court. Is that an opinion you also agree to?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't think that they can be used as proof?
No, no, no. They cannot be used because, first of all, this is per se an offense. Anybody who has got all this kind of information, he has committed an offense, because no law on this planet Earth allows anybody to hack the data, or get involved into this kind of things, to procure information which because it is against the privacy. Even a normal person, he is protected against such kind of attacks. And what to speak of the government, which naturally has some sanctity, the Prime Minister's office, and if anybody is trying to bug and then procure information, so that information can be used against him, the hacker. He has to be held responsible for this kind of act, criminal act. I don't think that anybody who has allegedly said something which may involve him in any criminal case, I don't think so.
Even in in any criminal case, this kind of evidence, in your opinion, would be inadmissible because of the source and where it came from and the way that it came.
A very important and famous case of, that Judge Archer, in which the Supreme Court has drawn a criteria for evidence of, forensic tests and all these kinds which you are referring to, in order to bring such an evidence before the court. So until and unless you go through all that, mill, you cannot prove your case, and you cannot use it in evidence.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your very valuable input, Arif Saab. Nayab, unfortunately, we're running out of time, but I would like your comments, your final comments on the kind of politics we've seen so far from the PTI, from one of the largest parties in opposition at this time, and what is, in your opinion, likely to follow, considering the overall political scenario?
Right, Maruk, I think what we've seen from the PTI so far, particularly from its chairperson, has been antagonizing, has been undemocratic, has been in violation of our democracy, and many times also we've seen him, his government has also done unconstitutional acts. So I think that the style of politics where you incite people, where you polarize, where you divide, we have no space for this in Pakistan anymore. We are faced with a climate catastrophe. We are faced with political and economic instability and challenges. So we must go back. Everybody, but particularly he, needs to take a step back, and he needs to realize that when he's playing with people's emotions, he's playing on conspiracy theories and propaganda, he is actually harming this country's sanctity and survival and future. So it has to come from Mr. Imran Khan. The government has been very clear, as I said before, that we are willing to let you back into parliament. We are willing to sit with you, provided we agree on terms and you don't dictate them. So I think Pakistan needs, for one of its antagonizing politicians to think rationally and put public interest before his own personal interests.
Thank you, Nayab. Very aptly put. Ji, Amir Saab, your comments.
Yes, I absolutely agree that there is only one way for Imran Khan and his party to come back to the parliament, discuss issues, and they respect the dialogue and debate culture. There is no street agitation that is going to work, and we have to build a national consensus on many issues, on economy, on climate change, and other larger issues which go beyond partisan politics. And I think this is the time to think together, act together, and build Pakistan for better.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us, Amir Saab, Nayab, Goharjan. Thank you for being with us today. Your very valuable input. As far as, of course, one would like this conspiracy theories and the propaganda in politics to cease, and there to be rational politics, which is something that we talked about. As far as the law, as far as the government is concerned, they're quite adamant, and rightfully so, that the law should take its course. As far as Imran Khan Saab is concerned, of course, as far as Imran Khan Saab and his party is concerned, we would like there to be, as far as the legal side of things are concerned, we will know what happens pursuant to this warrant, as far as the arrest is concerned, as far as whether he will be able to get bail or not. But overall, in the kind of economic scenario we are seeing at this time, the kind of floods we have seen, 1/3 of Pakistan stands submerged in water, waterborne diseases, there being the issue of rehabilitation after the floods, still very much being in the rescue relief phase of this kind of havoc that we have seen. Those should take precedence over any propaganda and conspiracy theories related politics that we have seen lately come from the opposition. Thank you so much for joining us today on Press.